Self-trust isn't built in big moments. It's built or broken in the small promises you keep or break every single day. Welcome to Doing What You Know. If you've ever found yourself saying, I know what to do, so why don't I do it? You're in the right place. This isn't motivation, and this isn't hype, and it's definitely not about learning more information. It's about breaking through the invisible barriers that keep smart, capable people stuck, even when they already know the next step. Every Monday, I'll teach one principle, one shift, one truth you can actually apply so knowing finally turns into doing. Let's get into today's teaching. Most personal development conversations skip the real foundation. We talk about confidence. We talk about motivation. We talk about discipline and habits. But underneath all of it is a quieter, more important question. Can I trust myself to do what I say I'm going to do? When the answer is yes, action feels simpler. When the action is no, everything feels heavier than it should. This is why two people with the same skills, the same information, and the same opportunities can get wildly different results. One trusts themselves, the other negotiates with themselves. That difference shows up everywhere. Most people think self-trust is lost through failure. That's not true. Self-trust is damaged through unkept agreements, not failed attempts. Failure while trying builds resilience. Saying you'll do something and quietly not doing it builds doubt. Every time you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it later, or I'll get back to it, and you don't, something subtle happens. You don't consciously say, I can't trust myself, but your behavior starts to reflect it. You hesitate before committing. You avoid setting clear goals. You keep things vague so you can't disappoint yourself again. That's not laziness. That's self-protection after broken trust. When people feel this gap, they usually respond the wrong way. They try to fix self-trust with intensity. They make big declarations. This time I'm all in. This time I'm not quitting. This time it's different. The problem is intensity doesn't rebuild trust. Reliability does. Big promises increase the emotional cost of another miss. And when life inevitably interferes, the crash reinforces the same story. See, I knew I couldn't count on myself. That's why people swing between extremes, all in, then completely off. The swing isn't the problem. The broken agreements underneath it are. Self-trust works like a ledger. Every kept promise is a deposit. Every broken promise is a withdrawal. Small promises count more than big ones because they happen more often. Most people are walking around with an overdrawn account and wondering why confidence feels shaky. They're waiting for motivation, clarity, or courage to return. But what they actually need is to start making deposits again, quietly, consistently, without announcing it to anyone. This is where most people resist. They think small actions won't matter, but small promises are powerful because they're believable. When you say, I'll do this for 5 minutes, I'll show up once, or I'll take one small step today, and then you actually do it, your nervous system starts to relax. Your mind starts to cooperate. Your identity begins to shift. Not because the action was impressive, because your word became reliable again. That's the moment progress speeds up. Here's the rule most people miss. Lower the size of the promise. Raise the standard of keeping it. Stop asking yourself to do heroic things. Start asking yourself to do honest things. Consistency doesn't start with ambition. It starts with integrity. And integrity with yourself is what restores momentum. So let's reframe this completely. You don't need more confidence. You don't need more belief. You don't need to feel ready. You need fewer broken agreements with yourself. Self-trust isn't something you feel your way into. It's something you behave your way into. Here's your action for today. Choose one small promise you can keep today without debate. Not a habit, not a routine, not a lifestyle change, just one action. Then do it, even if it feels insignificant, especially if it feels insignificant, because today isn't about results. It's about restoring credibility with yourself. That's how the foundation gets rebuilt. If this message hit, it's because you're ready to stop negotiating with yourself. Inside the Doing What You Know community, we focus on rebuilding self-trust through structure, accountability, and small promises that actually stick. No hype, no pressure, just progress that compounds. If you're ready to trust yourself again, you're invited to join us. The link's in the description below. If this teaching hit, don't overthink it. Knowing isn't the problem. Doing is. Take the one action you already know you should take and take it today. And if you want support, structure, and accountability as you do this work, you're invited to join us inside the Doing What You Know community. Everything starts with one decision. I'll see you next Monday.